Welcome to the PWC channel, guys. This is a Seniors League match between Keto and Cappidore. This is a week 12 match, so this means that we're already all the way through the season pretty much. This is the second to last match day. And yeah, so both these guys are still in the playoffs race somewhat. Both of them are a little bit behind the competition right now when it comes to that, so they need to catch up. So only the winner of this match still has chances to make it, I believe. And yeah, so definitely excited to see how this goes. Cappidore has got his signature Meloetta, then Mega Galate, his big Melmetal, then Tapu Fini, which has been his star player all season. He's gotten a lot of kills with it. Then he's got Salamence and trashy Donphan as his last one. I hate Donphan, it's so bad. Then Keto has got his signature Empoleon, which his team is already also named after. It's called Empoleon Conquerors. Sylveon, Rotom Heat, Landorus Eye, which he actually got as a trade from me. I traded it with him against Gliscor, so he's trying it out for the first time now, I believe. And his trusty Serena, which he likes to bring. He has played it Scarf repeatedly this season, so let's see if he does it again today. Would make sense to counter the Fini a little bit. And yeah, this Zapdos Galar, which he also decides to lead off with. So yeah, this makes me think that he's Scarf and will U-turn here. Would make a lot of sense, and that's what he does. So let's see, probably gonna see a Serena here, exactly. And yeah, so this Serena probably has also got a couple of options here, depending on its set. Might go for knockoff, expecting a switch, and wanting to get rid of an item, because honestly, Cappidore doesn't have the best knockoff switch-ins from a Serena, so yeah, I don't know. He probably would go into Salamence, which doesn't really like to lose its heavy duty boots, especially should the Empoleon get up Stealth Rocks later this match, which could definitely happen. And yeah, I mean, obviously the grass move is also an option, but seeing as Cappidore does have Salamence and Melmetal to switch into that, I would be a little bit surprised to see that. So we'll see. Oh, he actually goes for the grass move. So Serena also gets high jump kick, but I would be rather surprised if he would go for it here, because he has got two pretty good switch-ins to Melmetal potentially in Empoleon and Rotom, which both double resist the steel type stab at the very least, and yes, so both could be considered switch-ins, which is pretty rare honestly for Melmetal, just given how powerful it is. Usually it's hard to switch into it. Yeah, well, now that I think about it, I mean, bulky waters are pretty fine against it, but yeah, you never really like to switch into it, just given how powerful its attacks are. Yeah, so we'll see what Keto does here. I believe if he is something like a Sword Vest on the Serena, which he could definitely be, doesn't really make sense for him to click high jump kick here, because he would sack his Serena, which is definitely his best answer to the Tapu Fini. Alright, he goes into Rotom Heat, which makes a lot of sense. And Cappidore reveals to be probably a defensive Intimidate Salamence with Toxic right here. Yeah, this Toxic could be annoying. I mean, this Rotom is really only good for the Melmetal, to be honest, because I don't see it countering the Galade really. It might have the opportunity to burn it, probably live a hit and burn it, but it's not really gonna beat it one-on-one, I don't think. And yeah, so this means that it's gonna lose to Donphan probably. It's gonna lose to Meloetta, I believe, also to Salamence, and yeah, so it's not really the biggest deal in the world, in my opinion, but could be annoying a little bit. I think we're gonna see a Will-O-Wisp likely here. Oh, that doesn't really make sense, because the Misty Terrain is still up for this turn. Yeah, I mean, Keto could also have a heal bell on Sylveon, or even, I don't know if Sarina gets aromatherapy, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it did. So yeah, this could be two possibilities for Keto to still heal this Rotom from the Toxic later on in the match. And yeah, I wonder who's thinking here in this moment right now. I think it's probably Keto if I had to guess, just because I don't see really an obvious play for him here. I believe Cappidore won't have that much trouble here to switch into the Donphan probably, or even staying in Salamence and just roosting would be possible, even though he risks the burn if he stays in. But yeah, I mean, Donphan would be immune to the burn this turn at least, and then he could get up Stealth Rocks if he has it. And Salamence is just doesn't really fear the Rotom, to be honest, and it could just roost. So we'll see what happens. Alright, he decides to roost. Ooh, and Keto shows off the foul play, which is interesting. That's probably a tech for Mega Gallade, for Swords Dance Mega Gallade. That's interesting. Could definitely have worked at least against Gallade. But seeing as this is a defensive Salamence, by the looks of it, it's not gonna do that much damage. And yeah, this means that the Salamence will easily be able to outstall this Rotom. Yeah, it's probably also gonna pack. No, it doesn't really have to pack Defog, seeing as he Cappidore also brought the Donphan, which will likely carry Rapid Spin. But it could still, and it's probably, if I had to guess, gonna be a special attacking set with something like Draco and Flamethrower, Toxic, Roost, something like that. Which would be a good set. Alright, now Cappidore decides to make the switch into Donphan, while Keto goes into Sylveon on Salamence, which, seeing as this is a defensive set, definitely makes sense. Was a good switch in my opinion on Keto's part. And yet now we're gonna find out if he does pack the heal bell to get rid of this annoying Toxic. And Cappidore has to decide if he wants to risk taking a lot of damage on Donphan from a Hyper Voice, or if he wants to take this opportunity to go into Melmetal maybe. Which, to be honest, seeing as Keto still has both Empoleon and Rotom, wouldn't really benefit him that much. So yeah, I think staying in here for him is very possible. He doesn't really need the Donphan that badly, in my opinion. Because looking at it, defensive Salamence should wall Zapdos pretty well. It walls Rotom. It probably, possibly also is able to check the Landorus, depending on its set, pretty nicely. And depending on whether the Sarina has triple axle, it might also even be able to check that one. So yeah, I am not too surprised here by him choosing to stay in and get off a little bit of damage on the Sylveon. Which actually that's not even a little bit of damage, that's a lot of damage, and that makes me believe that this Sylveon is a spec set. Yeah, coupled with the fact that it actually would have one-shotted a Donphan without Sturdy here. So yeah, this is looking very specs, this set, and now Cappidore can probably click Ice Shard to get a little bit more damage off here. Or if he wants to if he doesn't really value this chip damage, he could bank on a Keto over prediction, which is definitely a bet you can you can win from time to time against Keto, and click something like Knock Off, predicting a switch into either Yeah, probably Rotom would be the switch, if anything. So yeah, but looking at it, Specs Sylveon is definitely not something that Cappidore likes to switch into, so this damage on it is really valuable for him, because now most things are gonna be able to outspeed and knock it out. Possibly even Salamence. Yeah, I think from 31%, depending on what the coverage is, coupled with the fact that it's not going to be a bulky Sylveon, it might be able to knock out the Sylveon, so it's going to be hard to get another hit off with for Keto. Alright, now this damage, taking this damage, oof. Now he is saving Ice Shard probably on Donphan to check maybe Landorus or even Zapdos if should those get out of hand. I mean, yeah, looking at it, 3 of Keto's mons are weak to the Ice Shard, so it might come in handy later in the game. So he decides to take a lot of damage on Melmetal. Yeah, still iffy to me. Not sure. I mean, I'm definitely not mentally in this game as much as Cappidore probably is, but I think just intuitively I think I would have made a different decision here, but we'll see how it pans out for him. Yeah, because now... Alright, now he makes a very nice prediction here. Going for the Rock Slide, which honestly also was a safe play, because Rock Slide would definitely have knocked out the... Oh boy, that sucks for Keto. Now he got completely played here, because now he's gonna get knocked out by this Ice Shard before he can even revenge the or kill the Donphan. Now this was a very nice play by Cappidore. That was funny. Alright, now I completely dissed this Donphan at the beginning of this, and now I'm eating my words because it's actually proving to be somewhat annoying for Keto. Yeah, but alright, now he decides to click Mystical Fire here. Which, I don't know how much I agree with that play, honestly. But yeah, Cappidore is likely also packing Thunder Punch, so he could have predicted an Empoleon switch in on... Yeah, he didn't really have a reason not to click Thunder Punch, honestly, because it will definitely be enough to knock out Sylveon once it comes back in. But I still believe, personally, I'm just gonna make the bold claim that I would probably have clicked Hyper Voice here. But yeah, that's hindsight is always 20/20. Obviously, I'm gonna say that I would have, now that I know that it would have been the better play in this situation. Yeah, but overall, looking at it, looking not too well for Keto right now. I mean, he's got the Donphan pretty much down, but he lost his Melmetal switch in, and Melmetal is still at a healthy amount of HP pretty much. Just seeing how bulky it is, it's definitely going to be able to take a hit from Sarina and also from Empoleon and Sylveon at this point. So yeah, looking like it's going to get another kill very possibly. Yeah, providing a correct prediction upon switching. Yeah, this Salamence right here is looking very annoying. I really only see Empoleon and possibly Triple Axel Serena beating it at this point. Alright, Cappidore keeping up momentum here with the U-turn. All going very well for him. Now he can go into Mega Gallade here, obviously, if he wants to. Keto doesn't really want to switch into it, to be honest. Or he can go do what Cap does and go into Tapu Fini and start setting up. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Yeah. I mean, we've seen this a couple of times now from Cap this season already, so you can't really be too surprised by it. I believe, personally, I would have gone into Gallade here because the close combat was pretty much no drawback play, in my opinion. Cap would have switched into Zapdos probably, which he definitely has a switch in to with the Salamence, or even the possibility to sack Donphan then, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, but he chooses to set up with the Fini and go for the 6-0 here probably. Which I can't really see that working. He still has a physically offensive Sarina, which will likely be able to power through it with Power Whip, because he can't get a Scald Burn here. And yeah, now this is a U-turn on Kato's part. He has to U-turn here. He has to go for the prediction and keep up momentum here, I believe, because he's a little bit behind right now and he can't really afford to Power Whip into either Melmetal or Salamence here to lose that much momentum. So yeah, this is a situation where Kato, being the prediction master, should definitely pull out one of his predictions and go for the U-turn here to get himself possibly back into this game. Now looking at win cons, yeah, I mean, depending on the Landorus set, if he has like Earthquake and Stone Edge and Sword Stance, he might be able to break Cap's team with it, because then obviously the physically defensive Salamence wouldn't be able to beat it anymore. If he Sword Stances on the switch in and then knocks it out, he's able to hit a Stone Edge and then knocks it out after. Cap would have to sack something and then go into Gallade and threaten the Ice Punch, which would really only be the only way to outspeed and one-hit KO a Landorus. And yeah, this is a little bit scary, should that be the case, because you never know with Kato. He likes to tech a lot, so he could definitely be a Yachi Berry Landorus as well. So yeah, but this is our thinking a little bit too far into the future here. Let's see if he even clicks U-turn and if Cap even switches out first. I wonder what Caps would switch into here. Probably Salamence, if I had to guess. But that would also be switching Salamence in on a U-turn. Would be a nice opportunity for Kato to go back into Sylveon and maybe get another hit off, depending on the Salamence set, these attacking moves. But yeah, I would see it as possible, definitely, that he can get another hit off at 31% against a defensive Salamence. Which would be another 50-50 prediction probably. Alright, yeah, he goes into Salamence and Kato should U-turn. Alright, he hard double switches, which really doesn't make sense. If you're gonna double, you definitely should click U-turn, because then he would have had the choice to switch into Salamence whatever he likes. But yeah, so I don't know. Landorus could be... Alright, so he's a special Landorus. Alright, and Cappidore reveals Aqua Tail on Salamence, which is definitely... I mean, it's quite literally not fire, but I believe it's fire, even though it's water. But yeah, it's definitely cool move on Salamence. Wonder what it's for. I mean, seeing as Salamence also has Hydro Pump, which definitely isn't quite as reliable, but it's also It's also better against Rotom in my opinion, because Rotom can't kill you with a burn, your viability as a mon. And yeah, but he chose Aqua Tail, which can't really argue with it because it's looking to work out here. But this also means that I mean he could be Earthquake Aqua Tail, which would be cool. Alright, now Keto is pretty much confirming that he carries Triple Axle here by switching into Serena, and Cap should see that coming. And he's also likely at least offensive, if not scarfed, and he's gonna run into, yep, I thought so. So Cap sees that coming. Yeah, I mean Cap definitely proving to be a very good player. I've had that impression of him all season. I think he's one of the he's not the most consistent, or at least he hasn't been this season, but he's definitely like Reckless, very much like Reckless actually. A coach that can beat anyone at any given point because he's really creative, really can play very well, seems to understand the game very well, and he's playing a very good match here against Keto. Keto, this wasn't a misplay, definitely not by any means, but it was a little bit. Yeah, I mean, what were his options, honestly? But it was definitely screaming triple axle here. Switching the Serena voluntarily into Salamence, and yeah, there are sometimes these little things like him double switching into Landorus instead of clicking U-turn. But now that I think about it, he didn't even reveal U-turn so far on Serena, so he might not even have it. And yeah, this might just be the reason why he did that. So yeah, if he has U-turn, he should have clicked it for sure, but yeah, looking at it, it's very possible that his other two moves are knockoff and high jump kick here. And he's gonna be Scarf again, probably. He's probably gonna be dual Scarf again, which he has run before this season. If I had to guess, I would say that he's Scarf, Zapdos, and Serena. Alright, now he has made the switch into Empoleon finally, which has always been an option. And he is a lefties set, which means Cap could be free to go back into his Feeny here and try to set up. But he revealed Taunt and Scald so far, so he could also be a non-setup set here and just be a supporter for once. Maybe Taunt, Nature's Madness, Defog could be possible. Because at this point I'm not sure if Salamence even has Defog. Earthquake, Aqua Tail could definitely make sense. Alright, now he just knocks out the Empoleon with EQ, and this is looking rather nasty right now for old Keto here. Oh well, now he makes a fantastic double switch into Sylveon. Well, yeah, this was very nice by Keto. Probably too little too late, to be honest, but definitely nice. As Cappidore reveals to be a specially defensive Meloetta, which is so bulky, so bulky. Taking only 40% by a Specs Sylveon Hyper Voice. It is Specs, right? It has to be. It knocked out Donphan in one hit. Which, I mean, Donphan isn't the most specially defensive mon in the world, but 100%, it has to be Specs in my opinion. And this also means that this is a very specially defensive Meloetta. Man, I like Meloetta. It's a very cool mon. Very versatile, very exotic because it's so underplayed in my opinion. And yeah, I would love to use it one day. Never played it in my life so far, but I like what I see. Yep, so Keto also doesn't have a Psyshock switch in anymore, really. He's probably gonna go. Alright, he's gonna sack a Sylveon. And now, can't really go into Landorus. Probably has to go into Zapdos or Sarina. And if he goes into Zapdos, he's gonna U-turn. But yeah, this is the point of the match where Keto is saying that he's playing so bad, and not sure if I agree there. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if I agree, because I think it's just a case of being out prepped or just a bad matchup. I mean, now he can U-turn, but not sure if he can benefit that much, because he can. Alright, now he can go into Serena, which probably, maybe, yeah, this is alright. He's sacking Donphan. I was just gonna say, because this is a little bit uncomfortable for Cappidore, because he really this was kind of a 50-50, and now he can get a kill with big old Melmetal, finally able to spam and pick up souls with the double Iron Bash, the strongest move in the game probably. Alright, now Keto reveals that he's not even scarfed, but physically defensive instead, which is surprising, but he's not gonna be able to roost up on Melmetal. Now how disrespectful is that? Trying to roost up on a Melmetal, or synthesis up. Guys, I have actually been practicing to pronounce that word, synthesis. I mean, I'm still not good at it, but this word was making my brain melt every single time I had a recording. I was always trying to avoid that word, but I tried saying it a few times, and I'm definitely not good at it. I feel like my accent is getting worse the more I speak English. I don't know why that is, but yeah, synthesis is a horrible word for me as a German. The only word that's even worse than synthesis is antithesis. Yeah, it's so horrible. Guys, let me tell you, having a German accent is really the worst. Well, alright, now looking at it, this Landorus has already proven to be specialty offensive and won't be able to touch Salamence really. So Cap is pretty much free to switch into it here. And yeah, so he sacks the Melmetal, which is very gracious of him. I don't think he had to. But now he can go into Salamence, or even into Gallade if he has the Ice Punch, and just click it. Alright, now he chooses to go into Salamence. He can click Toxic, he can click Aqua Tail, whatever he wants. He chooses Aqua Tail, picks up the kill, and now can go into Feeny on the Zapdos. Alright, as Keto reveals that he is running dual Wing Beat over Brave Bird. And Cap packs Draining Kiss. Alright, now that's GG. Well played, both guys. So Cap actually keeps his playoff chances alive with this win. And Keto, unfortunately for him, he had a really strong start to the season, but he couldn't keep up that momentum in the later parts of the season, so he has to, I don't know how my English is failing me right now, but he's out of the playoff race now, and Cap keeps his chances. Alright guys, GG, I hope you had fun. I hope, Keto, now that you're out of the playoff race, I still hope you had fun in this season. It was definitely a big improvement on last season for you. And yeah, so guys, see you in another one.